over the next 2 weeks, you will be taking a time machine back in time to the French Revolution. France is located here, on the continent of Europe, on the planet Earth. To get from California to France, you would have to fly over the continental United States, fly over the Atlantic, and learn how to tell the French guy at customs that you really aren't here to ruin their culture of fine cheese and Bordeaux. We will be traveling back in time to the French Revolution. A revolution is a change in structure over a very short period of time. This brings us to our first vocabulary word. In the lower right-hand corner of the unlined side of your card, I want you to write the number 4.1. This will help you to remember what section of the book you are studying. And later on, when you need to go back and study, you can only take out the cards that you need to study. But in order to understand what a revolution is, first we have to understand what a structure is. So write the word structure at the top of your card. The definition of a structure is the way something is built. So for instance, a house is built a certain way. You would build a one-story house different than you would build a two-story house. A skyscraper is built different than a car. So these are all things that you can see with your eyes. But there are also unseen structures. Some unseen structures are things like families. So there are some families that are structured to be big and some families that are structured to be small. In the same way, there are some governments that like to spend a lot of money and there are some governments that don't like to spend a lot of money at all. Everything is structured differently. For the picture on structure, I just drew a picture of a building. And it's very simple. It reminds us that a structure is the way something is built. The next term is revolution. Also, again, remember to write the word 4.1 in the lower right-hand corner so that you can remember this came from section 4.1. A revolution is a change in structure over a short period of time. If you remember, a structure is the way something is built, so you are changing the way something is built over a very short period of time. An analogy to help us understand this would be saying it's like taking a bulldozer to a building and then rebuilding something new. So as a result, the picture that I drew was of a bulldozer for the picture of revolution. So you could draw whatever you want, but just something that reminds you what a revolution is. The next term is clergy. Remember to write 4.1 in the corner. And a clergy is a priest or a pastor in the church. And you could just write keyword church to help you remember it. And you could just draw a picture of something that's from the church. I drew a picture of the clergy. Or you could just draw a picture of a cross. Or you could draw a picture of a church. Whatever helps you remember the word clergy. The next term is noble. A noble is a rich person who owns lots of land. So the two key words that you would need to write down are rich, because they're rich people and they own lots of land. Another term that we're going to be studying this, and then here's a picture for noble. These are nobles. Nobles are people who dress very fancy. If you have trouble drawing a picture of a noble, I'll allow you for this one to print out a picture of a noble and paste it on your card. Next we have the bourgeoisie. This one is hard to say, so you should try to practice. It's basically 3 syllables, bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie are the middle class and the peasants. They were often, and this is an oversimplification, but they were often unhappy and they were poor. And if you want to draw a picture of the bourgeoisie, you could draw a picture of bread, because bread kind of represents that they were hungry, they wanted food, but they were poor, so they couldn't afford that much food. And that is a brief introduction to the French Revolution.